Welcome back everybody to another video. We're here with this 2003 Mitsubishi Eclipse, and I'm going to step you through your repair step by step, every bolt, every screw, all that stuff, and hopefully save you a bunch of money. If I save you money, maybe hit me up with $1 a month on Patreon to be nice, but hey, it's up to you. So let's get into it. All the valve covers are leaking pretty bad on this motor, so we're going to go ahead in this video and replace the valve covers. And the first part of that is removing the battery and the intake. This intake is an aftermarket intake, but you're just going to remove the factory one and get it out of your way. The part number for the valve cover gaskets for this Eclipse V6 is a Felpro VS50461. The gasket you're going to need to put the intake manifold back together after you're done is a Felpro MS95709. We need to still take the intake manifold off to get to these back plugs, so I'm not going to touch anything until the intake manifold's off. Next step we're going to do is unplug everything that's connected to the intake manifold. Ground wire here, wiring harness here is bolted in. You got sensors here bolted in, so there's going to be some vacuum lines somewhere or another. You got the throttle cable needs to come off of the throttle body, so it's bolted to the intake there, and then it clips on the throttle body. We'll pull that off, and we'll just get it to the point where all we have to do is unbolt it from the lower intake manifold. I'm going to remove this strut bar here with these two nuts on each side, and that gives me a little more room to work over here at the back of the intake. Pull up on the overflow to pull it out of here. Then you have this little crossbar that goes from here to the intake manifold with a 14mm. You're going to remove those two bolts. Some vacuum lines we have to detach. The one from the firewall here area goes to this top one here. Then you have this little one here that goes into the intake manifold here. So don't mix those up and put them opposite. This little one here goes in front, and this other long one here goes to the top. For this throttle body setup, you have one vacuum line here that goes to this big one, and the ones that are on top, you got the green one goes to E, yellow one here goes to A, and this outside one goes to this. I fold the throttle body over after I disconnected everything. You need to disconnect that vacuum line that goes to the throttle to the intake manifold right here. Take the clamp off it. When I disconnected everything, I just put the bolts back where they went. And now we're to the point where we're going to take the 12mm and we're going to remove these bolts here all the way down. And then this intake should pop up, and then we can finalize taking any wiring out or any kind of vacuum lines that are attached to the intake. So on the back of the intake, a EGR tube goes in here, and then the EGR valve's right there. So the only real way to get to that, in order to get this off, is to take the EGR valve off with two 10mm bolts, and then you can get your fat ass arms in here to take off this bottom bolt. The top bolt wasn't that bad. The bottom bolt was a pain because the tube comes over it. The valve cover itself is covered by the timing cover, so you can't pull the valve cover off with this piece on. So there's a 12mm and two 10mm. And that slides this half of it off, and now this piece will lift up once I pull these 10mm out around here. But I still can't really do anything until I pull this guy off. So there's a clamp here, and this is for the PCV system, and So when I pull it, I can wiggle it off and get it off of there. When you get the valve cover off, you're going to pull the old gasket out. You're going to make sure the gasket has like these nubs. The nubs go into the top of the valve cover. And then you're going to grab 3 of these guys, and you're going to set these over the tubes. You're going to set those over the tubes that the spark plugs are down into. So you're going to pop these old hard ones out, throw them in the trash, like so. And you're going to grab the new one, and you're going to slide it over, and it needs to be seated inside of there, so it needs to be flush. And you just do that same thing with all 3 of them. And then we'll move to the other one. But once you have these on, then you can put the valve cover back on after cleaning this mating surface with brake cleaner and a rag. Then you can put the cover back on. You're just going to reverse all the steps you did to take it apart. And that's it. So check me out. Send me a message if you need help. We got a question. I'll try to do my best to give you a good answer. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. Hopefully you like it. Hit like, share, subscribe. Till next time, wrench on.